This might be the most surprising movie I've ever seen. The way I decide to watch movies is randomly generated. I spin a wheel. That night it landed on documentaries. Spin another wheel. Hit 17. Go to documentaries on Netflix. 17 slots down. My Octopus Teacher. Honestly, with that title, I thought it'd be like an anime or some kind of cartoon. Definitely not what I ended up watching. I was happily surprised. This is My Octopus Teacher. Don't go away. This is a film that people should be excited to watch. This should be on people's minds. If you're not aware, this movie follows a very interesting man in Craig Foster as he dives in the ocean every day for like a year. No wetsuit, no gear, like he straight up goes in. And over time, he actually becomes friends with an octopus.
What happens if I just went every day?
And as far as most nature documentaries go, at least in my opinion, if it doesn't have a good narrator, I probably are just gonna stop watching. Like I've started documentaries of nature and it's just like, and then the penguin went to the water and it's like, okay, I'm out, boys. Peace. But Craig Foster actually narrates his own adventures, and I was like, okay, this is like Sylvester Stallone thing, you know, I'm in the movie, I get to star in it, you know, I wrote it, and it really works. Craig Foster's voice, great for narration. Like he really fits so well in this film, and it starts the movie on such a great track. Like the first 10 minutes really captures you.
I hadn't been a person that was overly sentimental towards animals before. I realized I was changing. My relationship with people.
Something that you will notice if you've seen the movie, and something that I noticed within the first like half an hour, is how cinematic this is. Like for the production size, which was extremely small on this set, the cinematography is off the charts. And if you're wondering where was this film, you know, this place looks absolutely gorgeous. It's filmed just outside Cape Town, False Bay, South Africa. Looking at my notes here that I jotted down while I watched the movie, I gotta say that the music, gorgeous. I mean, the music was really well done. It's done by Kevin Smuts, legit last name. And as far as I know, he's only done documentary stuff, but what he did in My Octopus Teacher is really great. The revelation of the question in hand is, My Octopus Teacher. Well, what did the octopus teach this guy? That is actually revealed quite early on. According to Craig Foster, the man himself, the man who befriended an octopus in the wild, he says that the octopus taught him how to be more sensitized to other animals. But someone like me would argue that the octopus taught not just Craig Foster something, but something that he wouldn't even imagine would be in reach. Because in my opinion, I've seen the awards this movie has done. I've seen the traction it's done. I've seen it on the top 10 of the day Netflix stuff, and I think the reach that this octopus has gotten is way farther than Craig could have ever realized. And I hope it's just another stepping stone en route to getting people who are in the mindset of modern world in concrete jungles and all this to take a look outside for a minute and just appreciate the world itself. Because in 2021, it's really a point of mine how materialized humans have become. And My Octopus Teacher is just a little dash of that magic that I think we as a species have lost touch with, which sounds very feng shui woo thing, but that's just kind of what I just came up with. Some interesting points I have. One of them is quite interesting here. There was one point in the film at about the halfway point, the octopus is trying to hunt down a lobster, and lobster swim in a way I never realized they swam. They literally swim like, they can swim vertical. That is a thing. So anytime the octopus would try and come in at it, lobster's out. He's out, boys. But there was a point where he described how he tag teamed a lobster. Craig was at the front, distracting the lobster. Octopus goes around the back, ambushes it from behind. Like a literal WWE tag team style match just went down.
You actually think you deserve a shot at this? You don't deserve buddy.
My second note here I got, this is a very interesting one. This is pretty much the equivalent of leveling up in The Witcher 3 and unlocking a new trait in the skill tree. Stuff I've learned stuff I've never knew about octopuses in my life. At one point, they're discussing the food rituals of the octopus, and it's like, oh yeah, it eats fish, but they're hard to catch. But there's these shells that have like snails or whatever in them, and it can eat those things, but it has to get through the shell first. So I was thinking, does it like, does it crunch the shell in its arm, or no? Apparently, this is legit. I'm gonna put a picture of this up here. Do you see that hole in the shell? That little hole? Apparently, octopuses have a drill in their beak, which they drill in a specific spot on the shell, which they then inject poison. Now, according to the film, this has to be a super specific spot, otherwise it doesn't work. So they claim that the octopus knows geometry. A little far, but I still think it's a really cool thing that I never knew. Like, there's like a drill poison ability.
I don't know if you can see that, but you see that little tiny hole in the end of that shell. So this is something that was explained to us by Professor Jennifer Mather, who came out and was our scientific advisor. They're trying, not getting the whole way in or not getting into the right part of the animal that they're trying to kill, and then they have to try again. So they almost have to learn a kind of geometry.
Yeah.
And once they learn how to do it, every single time they go back, they tend to get it right.
My last note that I have here is a crazy one. It's one of the craziest footage moments I've ever seen. At one point, there's a shark attack on the octopus, like it happens, just a regular thing in the wild. And one of the arms of the octopus is just ripped off from the shark, and it's doing the death roll and everything. And the guy filming this is like right up, like this is the octopus. He's like right there. And then the shark swims away. And I don't have like full-blown footage of this. I'll try and find a photo to put up here. But as the shark is swimming away, he's got camera footage of the shark swimming towards him, mouth open, and the tentacle is in its mouth. It was incredible. I've watched so many David Attenborough things. I've watched so many like nature documentaries. That is one of the craziest footage moments I've ever seen. Before I actually give a full-blown rating on this film, one of my last points I would like to point out is the pacing of this film. Very, very slow. Some people won't like that. I'm a big fan of that. I feel like slow can let things stew a bit. It's all helped by his narration though. Like, I can't get past Craig Foster's narration is really well done. It's relaxing. If I describe this movie with one word, it would be relaxing. At a lot of points when Craig Foster's just sitting here like me describing his adventure and what went down, there's no music in the background like I have playing now. I'll cut the music here, but there's like no music. He's just describing what's going on. It's great audio quality from the movie, by the way, and it's just relaxing.
I realized I was changing. My relationship with people, with humans, was changing.
So overall, this might be the biggest surprise I've seen in a while. Actually, I'm looking at a 5 out of 5. I can't think of a single con for this movie. And on the other side, it did so much right. Cinematography, amazing. Quality of production is so nice, just compared with the small crew, it's really impressive. And I hope we see more in the future from Craig Foster and his wife. And from the interviews I've seen, which I've seen a lot of interviews on this, and I usually don't do this with movies. I went back and watched interviews with the director, interviews with Craig Foster, interviews with his wife, and they were all very interesting. I watched them from start to end.
Young octopus, shy, not coming out and not interacting and all of it, but at the same time, he felt a certain energy or a connection.
And on the director side, Pippa, last name
Pippa Ehrlich.
Thank you. Yes. I would be interested in seeing her future work, because from what I've seen in her interviews, she's very, very cool. So that's it. Why Octopus Teacher? Down. Movie in the books. Hopefully this opens up people's minds to the genre of documentaries. It's definitely not the most flashiest. It's not the most well-known. It's probably the most underrated, in my opinion. Hopefully this opens up people's eyes. But for now, I'm your host, Savor Planet Entertainment, and I hope you enjoyed this review. Peace.
That you're part of this place, not a visitor. That's That's a huge difference.
Heyo, if you've stuck around this far, you're probably here for the random Easter egg soundtrack I put in at the end of every video. While you listen, if you like, click the like button down below and subscribe if you want to see future content. Any support helps tremendously more than you'd ever believe. And if you're super dedicated, you can buy me a coffee. Link in the description. Anyways, yeah, that's pretty much it. So hopefully you enjoyed the video, and yeah, peace.